Hello, hello, once again. Got something special for you today. It's Dane Scott along with Furby.
Peekaboo!
There's a lot of potential power in the statistics on Fiverr if you know how to read them. And the GigTracker spreadsheet, it's a free thing that I offer, can really help with that. And the new version of the GigTracker spreadsheet really puts some power into it. I'll talk about that and more coming up.
The Gig Doctor.
I just released my 5th HeadSlapper video, HeadSlapper 5. By the way, I haven't done one in like a year, and then I just came out with this new one now, so I'm kind of excited about that. 1 through 4 came out, actually, I think all in last year. So this is my first one this year as we get closer to the end of the year, and it's HeadSlapper 5, and it is knowing the unknowable. That's the theme of it. Things Fiverr won't tell us, but which I've found a way to get completely legitimately, completely legally. We're not breaking any terms of Fiverr service at all. It's just one of those moments where we say to ourselves, why in the world haven't I been doing this all along? So anyway, that's the effect it had on me. And the feedback I've gotten from others has been basically the same kind of thing. Whoa, why haven't I been doing this all along? But the point isn't just that it's information that we couldn't normally get. It's useful information that we wouldn't normally get. It can result in more impressions, more sales, and more income. HeadSlapper 5 isn't a video that you can buy anywhere, even from me, but I'm going to tell you how you can get it coming up, so stick around till the end. My free GigTracker spreadsheet, it has a new feature that I think is going to be really useful, and that's what I want to talk about today. Because it turns Fiverr's gig statistics into something more useful information. The new version that I just uploaded today, actually, is completely free for everybody. I'm going to be including a link, and so you want to make sure to grab the link there. And it adds an orders column, and it also displays as a percentage the number of clicks to impressions and the number of orders to clicks. And I'm going to explain that. But really, the question is, why should I even care about this? Let me just start by saying that impressions is really considered to be the most important metric. That's the one that tells us just how many people have potentially viewed our gig in search results. And I say potentially because it just means that the gig has shown up on a search page and been presented to someone that was searching. It doesn't mean that they've necessarily looked at you, but at least it was on the page. And so that is considered to be an impression. All right, so the impressions are very important, but you could have a zillion impressions a month. But if nobody takes an interest in your listing, you're just not going to sell anything. You're not going to be any further ahead for having a lot of impressions. So after showing up, we have to get noticed. That's the gig image's job. I just did a gig image for a very, very nice lady, and we put a big focus on making it really eye-grabbing, eye-popping.
I think she's cute.
And that's what you've got to do. So once you are noticed, if they're scrolling down and their eyes kind of go boing and they notice you, then okay, that's the first thing, the first hurdle. And then the next one is clicks. If the buyer does notice our gig image and stop to investigate it, we then need to get them to click over and actually visit our gig. The pricing that they see on the search listing, and our reputation, if we have one. And also, if we have one, our video demo playable right in the search page. That all helps with getting the clicks. And once they click over to your gig, then, of course, we need to get to the ultimate goal, which is orders. That's the third metric there. We seal the deal on that with the info in our gig page, and by communicating well with them, when they send us messages and they ask us about our services. All right, so those are the 3 big metrics: impressions, clicks, and orders. Fiverr gives us, on our gig page, impressions, click, and order information. But if you're like me, you look at those numbers and your eyes tend to kind of glaze over a little when you're looking at them. Now, sure, they're going to tell us something. For example, when we put a new set of numbers into the GigTracker spreadsheet, taken off of the gig page there, and compare them to the previous month, for example, we'll be able to see that our impressions have gone up or down, that our clicks have increased or they've decreased since last time, that our orders are on the rise or maybe they're going in the opposite direction. But the relationship of one thing to the other is a little harder to picture. Let's say I've gotten 9,412 impressions in the past month. And out of those impressions, I've gotten 128 clicks where people have actually visited my gig. And out of those clicks, I've gotten 6 orders. Okay. Am I doing well or poorly? If I get a completely different set of numbers, where maybe I get a few more orders, but the number of impressions was, like lots higher, then how effective was I really in catching people's attention and enticing them to order from me? It's hard to know because it's all just numbers. We can't crunch all that in our heads. We can kind of try to do fuzzy math, but it doesn't really tell us what we would like to know, I don't think. So with this new feature in GigTracker, what it does is to show us our performance in a way that we can really sink our teeth into. Now it compares the number of impressions to the number of clicks that resulted in it, and it shows that as a percentage. So clicks to impressions. How many clicks to how many impressions shown as a percentage? We could call that maybe the percentage of captured interest, right? Then GigTracker also looks at the number of people who clicked through to our gig who actually ordered from us, and it shows that as a percentage. Now, that would traditionally be called the conversion rate, converting to sales. The problem is, up until now, really, that's been information that just is expressed in raw numbers on our gig page and even in the GigTracker spreadsheet, which makes it a little harder to picture. So is 128 clicks from, say, 9,412 impressions good, or is it bad? Is 6 orders from 128 clicks an acceptable conversion rate, or isn't it? Seeing percentages, it somehow just kind of takes a lot of the slipperiness and the mystery out of those numbers for us. In the example I mentioned there, the percentage of clicks to impressions is actually kind of low, a little over 1%. But those who clicked and viewed our gig, in the example anyway, the conversion rate, the number of people who actually ordered once they visited the gig is pretty decent. It's about 5%. So if we had been able to do even better with our clicks from each impression, how many clicks we'd gotten for the impressions that we got, considering how well we did on converting, our sales numbers would have been a lot better. Most useful of all, you can track the percentages over time with the GigTracker spreadsheet there. So each time you update your spreadsheet from Fiverr's gig statistics, GigTracker will show you your new percentages. So you can compare them against how you've done in the past, in previous months, or however often you're doing this thing. And having that long-run view gives you trend information that can help you to make decisions about your gig image, your pricing, your keywords, really every aspect of your gig. And because you can add multiple gigs to the spreadsheet, there you go. You can track them all right there in the GigTracker spreadsheet. Now, the GigTracker is an absolutely free resource. Anybody can have it. Anybody can grab it. I'm providing a link. There's also a link to a video in our description here, which talks about the ways to use the GigTracker spreadsheet, though it doesn't mention this newest thing about the percentages. So that's why I thought this would be kind of a good supplement, and I'll probably put that video up as well for people who are using the spreadsheet. All right, so let's get to the freebie now. And the freebie is this, the HeadSlapper 5. It lets you know the unknowable about what's going on Fiverr related to your gigs. You're going to find out information that you'll be surprised about. It's stuff that if you do know, it absolutely can help you to be more successful on Fiverr. And it's not difficult. It's not even tricky. It's like sitting right out there in plain sight but it's something that most people never think to do. So that's HeadSlapper 5. It's the 5th of the HeadSlapper videos. If you get all of the other 4, the HeadSlapper bundle of 1, 2, 3, and 4, number 5 is going to come right with it now for free. If you order a Gig Doctor session and mention this video, I'll give you HeadSlapper 5 for free too. So there's a couple ways you can get it. And there may be other opportunities coming up at some point as well. But these two, you can definitely take advantage of. The HeadSlapper 4 video package, get the 5th one for free, or order a Gig Doctor session. Mention this video, and I'll give you the HeadSlapper 5. And it's a $50 value, so there you go. All right, go check out the GigTracker spreadsheet. Start putting those numbers in, weekly, monthly, whatever you're going to do, and follow what's happening with your gigs. And, watch those percentages. Remember that something in the, say, 2 to 5% range is getting in where you kind of want to be. If you can get higher, of course, that's even better. And that will apply to both the clicks to impressions and the orders to clicks. 3 to 5, 2 to 6, 2 to 10. It really, okay, I should mention one other thing. I'll conclude with this. What is good will depend on the gig. And this is something I've learned. There are certain kinds of offerings where people are going to be more likely to order if they find what they want. There are other ones where the statistics will definitely be different. So don't assume that one particular number is always going to be an indicator of something good or something bad. It really depends on what you're offering on Fiverr, and those numbers roll around a lot. But, if you're looking for just kind of a starting place, if you're at under 1% for conversion rate, for example, you definitely want to see what you can do to improve that. Similarly, if you don't seem to be getting a very high percentage at all of clicks for all of the impressions that you're getting, you need to address that. And if you are getting 0 orders on a gig that has a lot of impressions, pause the gig until you figure out what's going on, because that can drag down your overall statistics and create problems for you in the search on Fiverr. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.